There's no place like Nebraska. We like to say that when it comes to Husker athletics, but the university's research also believes in that, as we caught up with Chancellor Ronnie Green.
And just the growth that we have seen, and the growth not only in numbers but in stature of our ag and natural resources and food programs at the university has been really cool to watch, and to see that happen and continue to grow and have the impact that it is making in those fields.
I'm probably biased because there's not a week that goes by that I don't interview somebody with a red N on their shirt, whether it's an extension, somebody in extension, or somebody doing research or whatnot. But you talk about the stature of that. Do you think that the stature of especially the research we're doing in ag, food, natural resources, has that grown?
It absolutely has. And our ag research at the university actually leads all areas of research for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, which makes sense, for where we are and what our state represents and the importance of agriculture and food production here. But if we look out over the last 7 years, we're one of very few universities in the country, anywhere in the country, especially coming through the pandemic time period that we've had, where we have broken our research expenditures record every year, year on year, including last year, where we were up 6% in our research expenditures, led again by ag, food, and life sciences research at the university. I can unequivocally say that of all the land-grant universities around the country, that Nebraska has continued to prioritize and put at the very center of its land-grant mission the agriculture, food, and environment world, right? And I think one would be hard-pressed to find anywhere else in the United States where that emphasis has been maintained in that way and will be maintained, I think, for many, many decades to come by the University of Nebraska. Even in places, we like to talk about the Texans and we like to talk about the Californians and so forth, but there is no place like Nebraska in terms of that important emphasis and the stature of what we do in those areas.
And quite frankly, when you look at all the challenges these days of sustainability, changing climate, and all of these things, there's going to come a day, I think, someday where some of these other universities are going to look around and go, these folks in Nebraska are on to something. They've been doing that for a long, long time.
Yeah, I reflect on a conversation that I had in Scottsbluff on yesterday, with students there who are working in their research work at the Panhandle Research and Extension Center, and talking about the future needs of what we're going to need to do in these areas. And what I said to them is, we have lots and lots of challenges that we're only on the front end of solving, right? In all of these fields collectively. So absolutely, we're committed to that at the university, and it's great to see, that happening.
You gonna be able to put this chancellor job aside after May and kind of get off the grid a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a real privilege and honor to serve the university that my wife Jane and I love so deeply. Has been such an important part of our life. But we are very excited about the next phase for us and the opportunity to step back at this phase of life and spend a lot of time with our growing adult family and their children. And I was been sharing with folks out across the state, one of the things that I did formerly in many of my former lives that I've had a lot less time to do, and in the roles with the university these last 13 years, is a lot of lay ministry work. That's an important part of our life. And I'm so looking forward to being able to get back and do a number of those things, all here in Nebraska. We'll be one of the biggest supporters you'll see at the University of Nebraska forever. But we are excited about the next phase of our life as well.
We wish Ronnie and Jane the best in retirement.